Hello guys, welcome back to Shally-Entertainment. Happy New Year to you all. On today's video, I'll be going through the best Korean historical dramas I aired in 2021. Make sure to subscribe to follow for more movies and drama recommendations. Now starting off the list, coming at number 1, The Red Sleeve. The Red Sleeve is the most popular historical romantic comedy of 2021. It was set in the 18th century, depicting the love story between a king and his royal concubine. It mainly starred Lee Jong-ho and Lee Se-young. Yusan, played by Lee Jong-ho, is an aloof and perfect-loving young prince who is haunted by his father's death. Although it leaves him in a position to take the throne once his grandfather, the cruel and ruthless Korean king responsible for Yusan's father's death, dies. At court, he meets a young woman named Sundong Im. Yusan falls in love with her and tries to convince her to become his official concubine, but she refuses as she wants to live her life freely, something that will not be possible as a concubine. She also knows that life as a royal concubine does not generally bring about happiness. The story progresses with how their love continues to grow in a palace surrounded by enemies. It was the most loved historical drama of 2021. And coming at number 2, Snowdrop. Snowdrop was one of the most anticipated dramas of 2021, probably due to the female lead's popularity, as she is a member of the girl group Blackpink. The drama tells a tragic love story between a North Korean spy and a South Korean woman. It was set in 1987 when South Korea was governed by a dictatorial government. It mainly starred Blackpink's Jisoo and Jung Hae-in. In 1987, Im Soo-ho and Yeon Cho are students at a prestigious university in Seoul. Im Soo-ho, who supposedly grew up in Germany, has a gentle charm but gives up an air of secrecy. Yeon Cho, who is lively, lovable, and cheerful, fell in love with him at first sight at a social gathering. One day, Suho suddenly rushed into the female dormitory, covered in blood, and Yeon-cho, not knowing that he is a North Korean spy, hides him and tends to his wounds despite facing danger under close surveillance. And coming at number 3, Mr. Queen. Mr. Queen is an amazing and hilarious historical romantic comedy. It is also the 5th highest rated drama in TVN history. It stars the likes of Shin Hye-sun, Kim Jong-un, and Choi Jin-yoon. In the modern age, Jang-bong is a chef who works at the Blue House. One day he wakes up only to find himself in the body of Queen Cheon, played by Shin Hye-sun in the Joseon period. King Cheoljong, the reigning monarch, is a gentle and easygoing person. However, he is only a king in name, while the true power is wielded by the late king's wife, who has relegated Cheoljong to a figurehead. Queen Cheon soon discovers that the king is not what he seems and that he has his dark and suspicious side to him. This is sure the funniest drama that aired in 2021. You will definitely love it. And coming at number 4, River Where the Moon Rises. The action and romance drama aired in 2021 and mainly stars Kim So-yoon and Jisoo, who was later replaced by Na In-woo due to a bullying scandal. Born a princess and raised a soldier, Pyongyang is a woman with big dreams and limitless ambition. Determined to become the first empress of Goguryeo, Pyongyang will stop at nothing to make her dream come true. She is well aware of the obstacles that stand in her way, but she is more than capable of taking them on. However, things take an unexpected turn the day she meets Ondal, a peace-loving man whose sole goal in life is to live in harmony with those around him. Ondal is the exact opposite of the ambitious princess. The warrior princess soon finds herself falling for the gentle Ondal. He is equally in love with the princess, but he finds himself forsaking his principles to keep her safe, an endeavor proving to be increasingly difficult as warring factions fight for the throne. And coming at number 5, Moonshine. Moonshine is a romantic comedy set during the late Joseon period when a strict alcohol prohibition has been enacted. It tells the story of 4 young people as they grow up, form friendship and fall in love during the era of strict prohibition. It mainly starred Yoo Sung-ho and Lee Hye-ri. Nam-yeon, played by Yoo Sung-ho, works as an officer for the Sahungo. One of the missions of the Sahungo is to crack down on people who break the alcohol prohibition. He left his hometown to achieve fame in hanging and restore his family status. He has an attractive physical appearance and is a man of principles. He ends up missing Kang Ryo-soo, played by Lee Hye-ri, and becomes confused by her. Kang Ryo-soo is the daughter of a poor noble family. Being the breadwinner in her family, she doesn't mind doing manual labor for money. In order to pay off her debts, she started brewing alcohol during the strict alcohol prohibition period. And coming at number 6, Lovers of the Red Sky. The drama is a fantasy romantic comedy that revolves around the only female painter in Joseon Dynasty, who was briefly recorded in the historical records. It mainly stars Kim Yoo-jung and Ahn Yo-soo. Kim Yoo-jung plays the role of a female painter with a genius-like painting talent. She is picked as the first female painter of the Dohwasu, a Korean Royal Academy of Painting. She has a beautiful appearance and a bright personality. For her, painting is everything. One day she meets Haram. Haram is an officer in charge of astronomy, geography, and art of divination. When he was young, an accident during a rain ritual caused him to become blind. When Chunky falls in love with him and she doesn't care that he is blind, she keeps on appearing in front of Haram and he finds himself waiting for her always. And coming at number 7, The King's Affection. The romantic comedy is set during the Joseon Dynasty, at a time when twins were considered an ominous sign. When the crown prince consort gives birth to identical twins, a boy and a girl. In order to save one, the mother had the baby girl secretly sent out of the palace. A few years later, the twin son, Liu dies due to a mistaken identity. But to hide her twin son's death, the mother brings back the daughter and raises her as Prince Liu. Liu eventually becomes a crown prince, but fearing that her real identity will be revealed, Liu is unable to have anyone close to her and hides her emotions from others, making biting romance. But although she distances herself, she starts developing feelings for Jung-won, a teacher who comes from a noble family. They knew each other as kids, but Liu has to hide her identity. And comment number 8, Secret Royal Inspector, Joy. A comedic historical period drama that centers around an intelligent but lazy secret agent and a diverse woman who holds beliefs ahead of her time while searching for happiness. It mainly stars Kim Yo-yoon and Ok Tae-yoon. Kim Joy is a passionate woman who is ahead of her time. She's a realist who believes that people can get divorced. She lives in an era when women can't even be part of the family registry, but she dreams of getting divorced and having a fresh start in life. Ryan, on the other hand, is a civil servant agent. Despite having goals to spend his days selling dumplings in a small shop set up within the territories outside the palace grounds, his sharp intelligence leads him to be offered a high position as a civil servant agent, where he is immediately given a mission to tackle. They both team up to investigate and expose corrupt politicians. And compared number 9, Bosan, Still a Fate. Bosan Still a Fate is a romantic comedy set in the Joseon Dynasty that tells the story of a single father who accidentally kidnaps a princess. It mainly stars Jung Il-woo and Kwon Yuri. Bao, who engages in the practice of connecting widows who had no hopes of getting remarried with new husbands. He was framed for conspiracy by someone at a young age, and though he was able to escape this life, he has to hide his identity and live in poverty ever since. He one day accidentally kidnaps a widowed princess, putting his life in danger. The drama will be set during the reign of King Gwang-hae and revolve around Bao and Christian Seo-kyung. It will be a story of life and love that touches upon the oppression experienced by women and the impoverished. On comment number 10, Ashin of the North. Ashin of the North is a special episode of the hit Netflix zombie show, Kingdom. If you haven't watched the series, you're missing a lot. It was an absolute masterpiece. It even ranked the first place on Netflix that year. During the ending scene in the final episode of season 2, Jung Ji-hyun made a cameo with a dramatic entrance of a new character right before the end credits began rolling. She's none other than a title Ashin of the North, and this special episode chronicles her origin story. And as the name indicates, this side story is all about Ashin. It starts with the young Ashin who lives with her family in a border village of refugees. Her father is loyal to Joseon and works as an undercover spy for Joseon. The story advances with how her father, family and the entire village is betrayed, leading to their deaths. This is an amazing action-packed and thrilling revenge story. Ashin was absolutely badass and her character was really broken throughout the movie. Thank you guys for watching. Do make sure to hit the subscribe button to follow for more movies and drama recommendations.